Welcome in. It's the Second Cut Podcast. I'm Rick Gehman, joined today by Greg DuCharme. Gregor, say, buddy.
What's going on, Rick? Excited to be here. I'm really excited for this week of professional golf. We have a couple of great events on the slate this week, and I'm legitimately fired up about it. I can't wait.
Yeah, a couple of good events. There are a couple of news items that I want to get to first. There's just kind of a lot of little stuff going on. Let's jump right into this. Let's go here. In 2 days, there will be a golf event played at Shadow Creek in Las Vegas. Mark will be there on the call. This is Capital One's latest thing, right? So Capital One has been part of the matches in the past. And we always kind of wondered what was going to happen when they could stop getting Rory McIlroy or Tiger or Phil or whatever. They tried quarterbacks, a lot of different things. Well, this is kind of the biggest one yet. This is in collaboration with Major League Baseball. 60 players, some active, some retired, representing all 30 teams, playing in a 2-day tournament that will air on TNT. So this is the next iteration of Capital One being involved in golf.
I think there's a couple things about this. One, it's great that Mark's going to be on the call.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime Mark's involved, I'm happy about it. Two, I think it's really cool that that golf is in the place that it is in general, right? I mean, how does this happen? Capital One is like, this is working for us. What else can we do? Let's get creative. But we want golf. I think that's great. I mean, I'm not a huge proponent of having other athletes, using other athletes to draw attention to the PGA Tour per se. Like, I'm not a fan of Tony Romo getting a sponsor exemption into a PGA Tour event to draw more eyeballs. I'm against that. But if there's any way that this draws more attention to the game of golf, makes the game of golf cooler, then I don't think that it's a bad thing at all in any way. And hey, if you want to see Shadow Creek, you got a good chance for it.
Yeah, you only get a couple chances to see it. It's usually on TV in one of these matches. There is this thirst for golf right now, and it feels like everyone's trying to figure out where the puzzle pieces fit. Obviously, you have the professional tours, but even the professional tours have been split over the last 4 or 5 years. You've got this influx of eyeballs on YouTube golf. Well, that's, edited and entertainment and mostly non-professionals. You get a little bit of crossover there. You've got this event, which is now, okay, can we get other athletes that you might know and love from a different sport, put them in the golf arena and have you watch that? I don't know where this all fits in long-term. It's actually a skills contest we're going to talk about in a second that also fits into this. There's just like this really strong thirst for golf that everybody's trying to quench something with it. I don't know what's good, bad, or indifferent, but I guess overall it's a good sign for the sport, which I intentionally separated from like the professional game. Like, this is good for the sport, right?
Yes, and that's a really important separation here. When the PGA Tour does things to try to grow the PGA Tour, there are certain lines, there are certain things that they shouldn't do, certain places that they shouldn't go. And that's an area where it's like, okay, well, I consider myself a PGA Tour fan, as close as you can get to the game, while being on kind of on the fan side. And so I'm comfortable having opinions on if these things are various ideas are good or bad or harmful or cool. But in these other buckets, like, I would never get upset at a YouTube golfer doing anything. Maybe there's like not fixing divots or something. I might get, I don't even know how I would get upset at one of them. saying something about my family, not that they even know who I am. Like
I would
you,
be surprising.
yeah, it would be very shocking.
They're like, that DuCharme family is just the worst.
I could not find a way to get upset because that's like you have your own audience. You know what they want. We do things on this show. There's a golf audience that doesn't like our perspective, so they watch something else. It when it's the PGA Tour, if you're a fan of golf, you got to watch that. So it becomes there becomes a need to watch. Like we're all watching this because this is the sport we love. On YouTube Golf, you don't have to watch it. You can watch somebody else. And I think this is the case here. If you're not a fan of baseball and you're not a fan of golf, you're not going to watch this. If you're not a fan of baseball, you're probably not going to watch this.
Right.
And that's okay. So I'm curious to see how it does from a business perspective. I find it interesting. I didn't really think the quarterbacks was all that great. Again, not my cup of tea. I'm very curious to see how this does from a business side of things.
I think in general, baseball players are a lot better golfers than football players are. And you get some of these starting pitchers who have 4 out of every 5 days to play golf, and they are pretty damn good. John Smoltz, Greg Maddux. Greg Maddux is in Las Vegas. I don't know if he's playing in this. John Smoltz is. You're gonna get some good players out there. So from Major League Baseball's perspective, because admittedly, the first I heard about this was last week when Mark told us about it. There was not an official press release announcing this until very recently. So Major League Baseball has not done a lot of promotion in this. So Major League Baseball gets what out of this? It's during their MLB awards week. So they're going to announce MVPs and Cy Youngs, and there's probably a gala of some sort, and they get this added event. Is this just another way that Major League Baseball gets to be at least, I don't want to say top of mind, but like you're going to see something Major League Baseball adjacent in the middle of November, which you haven't been able to see before?
Are people going to be out there?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know how they'd get, I mean, I know how they'd get people in there. They've held like LPGA events there, but it's not the easiest thing in the world. It's very secure and gated. Like, I don't know. I don't think there's going to be fans out there. I looked to try to buy tickets. I couldn't find a way. I don't think they're selling tickets. So I imagine what it's going to be is executives and families and shareholders and stuff like that.
Yeah, that kind of thing can have a value, right?
Yeah.
I mean, companies put on events. We usually call them outings. That happen all the time. And golf is a great way to do that. It's just a great way to do that. And when you get on the opportunity to do it at a special place like Shadow Creek, that becomes very cool. And if there's any interest, like Capital One clearly has interest, TNT clearly has interest, why not televise it at the same time? It wouldn't surprise me if Major League Baseball had a golf outing all the time that hasn't been televised. So there's no press release for it. Mark Immelman isn't going there to call it. But like, hey, why not televise this? I know the Joe Namath Foundation has an outing in the New York area every year. It's full of celebrities. It's not televised. It probably could be. It's a lot of big time celebrities, and there'd probably be an audience for it. So I don't think it's a blockbuster kind of thing, but golf's a great way to throw events for a company, and I guess the TV, in my opinion, would be like an added bonus.
So it will be played the 13th and the 14th, which is Thursday and Friday, but it'll air next week, November 18th on TNT at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, which I will be interested to see. Like, it's not live, but it's not a 2-month edit. It's just like a small edit to get it out within a week. So I'll be interested to see how that shakes out.
Well, you bring 2 days down into one.
Right.
Yeah. So that's it. So we're going to film all this, and then it's almost like YouTube golf.
Right. I don't hate it. And Mark can give us the behind the scenes when he.
There's no reason for that to be live.
There really is no reason for it to be live. Correct. That would just add to the cost, the logistics, all the headaches to do that live.
Yeah, like the added in a lot of the matches, a lot of the things that TNT has done, part of the criticism has been how much downtime there is.
Right.
And one of the things that I offered as a solution was, why is this live? Right. It does not have to be. If you made this Shell's Wonderful World of Golf, you cut it, you have an hour show, and you get all 18 holes in, all the quibs, you keep what you need. If they're not talking, you just show them playing.
Right.
It makes a lot of sense. That's good to hear.
The other golf adjacent announcement from this week is we finally have the teams for the Optum Golf Channel games. Greg, you know that, the world famous Optum Golf Channel games. This is a made for TV event that will air on Golf Channel and USA Network. This is the week before Christmas. This is December 17th. Rory McIlroy and Scottie Scheffler are captains. We had heard about that in the past. Here's Rory's team: Shane Lowry, Luke Donald, Hao Tong Lee. Okay, interesting. Scottie gets Sam Burns, Keegan Bradley, Luke Clanton. So I don't know what the through line is from these teams other than your best friend,
the Ryder Cup captain,
Ryder Cup captain,
and a young guy,
and a random. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Tong. I love Hao Tong Lee. I have no idea how he got involved in this. He's going to be very entertaining, but I can't believe on a list of 8 in Florida, where you have access to every professional golfer in the world, that Hao Tong Lee got on this list.
It was so. I mean, he's been playing great golf, by the way.
He's been awesome,
but it feels so random. It feels so random. He's probably going to get his PGA Tour card.
Okay.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Good segue.
But still, he's not a European. Like there's a European American flair to this, which Luke Clanton would fit in.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Maybe nobody else wanted to do it. Did
they make a lot of phone calls before Hao Tong? Does Hao Tong have a great agent who worked him into the? I don't know. It's a great segue because here's Jamie Kennedy tweeted this out. We talked a little bit about how there's two events this week. One very, very big on the DP World Tour. It's their season finale. It's their DP World Tour Championship. As of right now, if you're watching on YouTube, you're looking at the 10 cards that would be secured for the PGA Tour next year, and then a couple of guys who are just on the outside looking in. There is a massive number of points for this event. So much, as Jamie points out, that every eligible player in the world, or excuse me, in the field, still has a mathematical chance of earning their card because of how big this field is. But looking at this list of guys that, if this ended right now, would get their PGA Tour cards, it's a couple of I'll throw Marco Penge and Alex Noren into the obvious ones. They've had phenomenal years. Hao Tong Lee is currently 7th. You mentioned how well he's been playing. Greg, he's going to get that PGA Tour card again, and a couple of other guys that could be really interesting when we start seeing them on a regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like Laurie Cantor has been playing great golf,
which, by the way, would be the first official player to have played on Live Golf to get back on the PGA Tour. Laurie Cantor, I think he played a season plus, couple of reserve or alternate starts in the second season. He would be the official first man back.
And he's the first man to play in an event because he got in the players as well. So he has played in an event on the PGA Tour. It's amazing that there's been that much time. There's enough time for a player to do that already.
Because presumably he's also served the 1-year suspension.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's just crazy that that's even, you could get on, play your way off or whatever.
Yes. Play your way off Live, play your way back onto the PGA Tour.
Yeah. And sit out a year.
That's true. It's been a long time.
Yeah. It's wild how long it's been. So he catches my eye because playing on, I paid a lot more attention to him. I'm playing on the DP World Tour, and His name keeps popping up. So that's an interesting one. Dan Brown led the Open Championship a couple years ago, like pretty deep,
Yeah.
into that tournament. He was a great story. Hopefully he can get in the mix in some PGA Tour events, and hopefully he can get there. Right, he's eighth. He's certainly not safe. So I think and Christopher Rattan, Rattan.
I can't remember what we looked this up once. I can't remember what we settled on.
Yeah, we've talked about him before because
He
there
went to
was
Oklahoma State, didn't he? Or am I confusing him with Ventura?
Christopher Ventura.
Yeah.
Might be.
Yeah.
But we've been very interested in him before because of great play on the DP World Tour. I'm hoping to learn how to actually pronounce his name, and I think he's got a really strong game. So I mean, that's how you get to number 2 on this list.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, he is 27 years old, out of Norway. He signed a letter of intent for the University of Texas, but he turned professional. He did not go to college at all. So
okay,
I was
definitely not Oklahoma State.
Definitely not Oklahoma State. I was thinking of Ventura in that category. So that is a list of potential players, and like Jamie says here, literally anybody in the field, mathematically still alive to punch their ticket. We'll know after the next 4 rounds. The PGA Tour announced a couple of weeks ago there was going to be a good championship. We talked about that, Greg. They are now adding another event for the 2026 fall. This is an event back in North Carolina. This is going to be Asheville, the Biltmore Championship. It's going to be played at the Cliffs at Walnut Cove. I am not familiar with that place at all, but we're not stuck between, but like, there's been a lot of conversation around what the new PGA Tour leadership is going to do to try to make the product more scarce. That's something that they have spoken about. And there's this, I don't want to say a worry, but there's this idea that like, maybe the fall goes away. Maybe there's just less events as sponsorships run out. Maybe they are not renewed and the schedule gets smaller. We are not seeing that as of yet, right? These 2 new events already added for next fall that were announced just in the last couple of weeks.
And you have 2 events that are kind of, in question of whether they'll be back or not, which includes the Procore in Napa, and more significantly from what I've heard is the Sanderson Farms in Jackson, Mississippi. So now you either find a way to renew those events and you have more fall events, or you don't and you have the same number. But a lot of these deals have some life to them. They have some extension, they have a period of time where they're valuable. But the scarcity conversation, I do think, is an important one, Rick. I don't know what Brian Rowlett meant when he said scarcity was a pillar. A lot of people have interpreted that as we're going to get rid of events.
Yeah, that it doesn't have to be just based on the number of events. There's a lot of things.
No, I mean, he didn't mention that at all. He didn't mention anything specifically. That's why I think there's been a lot of conversation around it. So, but just the idea is, it seems like in the conversation, we need to have less events so that people are starved for it, right? So they miss it, like they miss football in the off season. I don't think that people who are watching football and not watching golf as a result, which is a lot, I don't think there's anybody that feels like they have to watch the PGA Tour in the fall. You don't have to watch it. So when it's golf season, you're excited for it. Even the early events in the PGA Tour season, there's NFL playoffs on. People are not quite there yet. The numbers are a lot smaller, and then they pick up after football. And that's like as a viewer, your golf season is what you make it. It's not like you're a fan of the Jets and you have to watch every game to get an idea of the season. You don't. And so I don't understand the scarcity thing. I think that the job of the tour is to create playing opportunities for their players. They are creating scarcity and a fewer number of cards. I think that it adds to the intrigue of the fall for some. It makes it definitely pressure packed for the players whether there's fan interest or not. And there's also clearly an interest from the corporate world because you have now 2 new events. If you include Good and the corporate world, I guess they deserve to be.
I think
right?
you have to, yeah.
I mean, they're spending millions on a PGA Tour event. That sounds very corporate to me.
Yeah.
So there are other purposes beyond what are the TV ratings.
Yeah. I've gone back and forth on this. I think at one time I would have said have there only be 24 events, and then you can, have PGA Tour plus 24 events where only Scotty and Rory plays, and then whatever. I think that there's obviously a need and a responsibility for the PGA Tour to, like you said, Greg, create those playing opportunities. I understand that. It's still a member run organization. It is still, the structure of this sport is very different than other sports.
It's also part of your player development,
yes.
Right? The fall portion develops the PGA Tour Plus, which we kind of have.
It's getting
right
there.
now. We're almost fully, if you count majors and signature events and playoff events and the players, you're talking 8, 12, 15, 16 events that are of elevated stature.
There was a time, some guys might play like, I think Victor Hovland, I don't know if maybe it was last year. He played like 2 non of those events that you just mentioned. That was it. Yeah. It was his entire schedule.
Right. And Scotty plays usually 20 events a year. He's got a couple that he likes to play. Rory probably won't play any. Like right. Maybe the Canadian Open.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they don't necessarily play all of those, but they're still important. You don't have a college system in golf that feeds the PGA Tour the same way. There are too many levels in between. So you need the Korn Ferry Tour, PGA Tour Americas, as we've seen with Michael Brennan this year. All of these steps are developing players that are potential stars. So it's not like, well, we feel bad for them, so we got to get them opportunities. It develops your talent pool. And I think it's a big reason why the talent pool is so deep on the PGA Tour now.
The only thing that I think is a disservice to the PGA Tour and its members are the alternate events. Having 2 events at one time, the opposite field events, I think it's criminal. I think it is set up for failure. I think it just does to run an event opposite of the Open or what, it's criminal. I would do away with those, and I might, and you could convince me other ways in this. Like, I think it's okay to work a bye week in here and there, right? I mean, there are some, and like there was, that I think back to the Olympic year a lot. It was just like every week there was a massive event. Like, would we get more guys playing more events or playing all the big ones if we took a week off here? If there were 4 bye weeks a year, like, I don't know. Maybe you start running out of dates really quickly, but that's the other thing that I think about.
Well, this fall has had a nice cadence to it.
Yes.
It hasn't felt too packed. And I think those bye weeks, they're certainly welcome for me. I don't mind it at all. The interesting thing about the opposite field events that you bring up is, and I cannot explain this, but those title sponsors of Barracuda, Barbasol, I guess Barbasol changed recently.
Isco now, right?
Isco now. But it was Barbasol for a long time. It's been Barracuda for a long time. And it's been Corrales for a long time. So while I understand the sentiment, it's like there's still a value, which is crazy.
They must get a deal. Okay, then here's the thing. Lock the field. So lock the field the same time you lock the field for the Open. And play it the week after the Open when it's a bye week or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I still,
Yeah.
I don't want to take away the opportunity, but running 2 events at the same time is blasphemy. Okay. It just is. You've got a finite amount of resources on your own end. You've got a finite amount of eyeballs. Sometimes the big event, the main event, is being played in a completely different time zone on another side of the planet. It is just like, it just feels like it's setting up for, it is completely you cannot ask a casual fan who won, and name one winner of the Barracuda or the Barbasol in the last 10 years. That's 20 winners. I don't think they could name a single one.
No. I know Colin Morikawa won one of those.
Yes, that would be
okay.
Yeah, he did.
So I understand the sentiment there, and I just wonder what's is it for the fans? And I don't think it is, because I mean I get them confused all the time. ISCO helps.
Yes.
ISCO Barracuda, it helps because they're not Barracuda and Barbasol, which sound the same. But right, you don't pay attention to them, and it's okay not to. And I wouldn't have a problem with restructuring some of that. But as a general rule, I'm not in the scarcity marketplace. Like, I don't think the fall needs to go away. I think you need to keep it, and maybe it's 6 events and not 8. You could convince me that that's better.
Right.
But I just think not everything has to be about who's watching, because there's a player pool that you need to develop. There's a player pool that cares very much, and it means a lot to the members.
One last thing about non-traditional PGA Tour or DP World Tour golf, and this comes from our Patreon. Oliver's question here says, "Hey, Second Cut crew, I didn't realize this, but I'm actually looking forward to TGL starting up again at the end of next month." The end of next month. Yes, it's TGL is going to be back soon. He says, "Have you heard of any major changes or new players that we might see in the second season?" So thank you, Oliver, for being a patron. So they've
redid the golf course
to the green. Yeah, to the course, to the venue. Yeah, they redid the green to get some more pinnable locations. And I believe they changed, I'm going to screw this up, like the actuators underneath that can determine breaks and humps and hollows, I believe are new for new looks.
Well, the ridge, they had that ridge that I think they softened it.
Back to the original.
Back to the way it was originally intended.
Yeah.
More pinnable locations.
You know why they did that is because the people in the arena, if you were behind the ridge, you could not see the hole. You couldn't tell if the ball was going in or not.
Right, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
And it spins, so sometimes you'd see it, sometimes you wouldn't. It's a fascinating concept.
I did think they had to do something with the green, because it did feel like by the time we were 5 or 6, we saw that we were seeing the same chips and putts every time, because they were limited in that aspect of it.
Well, I don't know what the limit is, because it's connected to the golf course. So think about it this way. You design the golf course on the Golf Club 2019.
I wish.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you connect it with that green.
You download
the green. You download it. And then, so the slopes are like that green. The green on the, on every hole has a slope to it. And that's how the green that spins adjusts.
Yeah, but there must be some limitation, because they must have said, hey, when you design these holes, the green is still only ever X square feet.
Right. Totally.
And it can only go Y and Z height. Like there must have been limitations in designing it, in knowing that your green had limitations.
Totally.
I can't believe we're talking about this.
I know.
Download it to the putting green.
One thing I wish they would do is, and I don't think they're going to do, I wish they would just have like crazy holes.
I know.
Even if it had the same green, like that, if that green that they have indoors was at the end of every hole, but sometimes it was like 50 feet up in the air, and sometimes it was 100 feet below, or it was on, the seventh floor of a building,
Yes.
in New York City.
Yes.
Like if you're gonna go that way, where it's like not real
Right.
golf, I would just go way more.
Don't make real holes. They play real holes all the
All
time.
the time. All the time.
Make them hit off the Empire State Building.
Yes. You can play in the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
Wind your way down, or you're standing on the edge of a cliff. You could do anything. You could play on the moon.
Yeah. Change the gravity settings.
Honestly, it's not a bad idea. We're gonna play a video game. Let's play a video game and let's make it real cool. I think it would help with their data. There's a lot of the pushback was the collection of data.
Yeah.
Is the simulator correct? Mm-hmm. And part of that is, Tiger's got a wedge from 100 yards and he hits it 130 over the green.
Mm-hmm.
That he would never do that. But if you're in New York City on Fifth Avenue, it like you don't process it the same way.
Right. You don't know how it actually would have reacted when it hit Rodeo Drive.
Yes. You don't know. So it's like, hey, this is the game we're playing. It's not real golf. It doesn't matter what actually happened. We're playing a video game here. That's what I would do.
I'm with you. As far as who's playing, I have not heard any roster changes. So I'm assuming everybody's running it back, which includes, I assume, Kevin Kisner, who was by far the weakest player at TGL. And I think they'll have to figure out something for Tiger Woods because status of Tiger is generally always up in the air physically.
He said that he would be there. He did not say that he would play. So
yeah,
you're going to have to figure something out.
Very vague that he will be there.
I did hear that. I think the teams have like backup systems.
And we saw that before, right? I think like Nick Dunlap had a start at some point.
Finau?
Yeah, Finau had a start. There is definitely an alternate system in place.
Absolutely. So, who knows? You may see more of that. It sounds like with the scheduling, they're starting in December this year. They've spread out the scheduling a little more, it seems like. No triple header on President's Day. So we'll see how season 2 goes.
December 28th through March 3rd is the schedule. New York Golf Club versus Atlanta Drive. That's a rematch of the championship last year to kick us off. We're going to turn our attention to Bermuda. Before I do that, I'm going to remind everyone who has tuned in that just within the last few days, our one and done over on Splash has gone live. This is a $1.25 million one and done. It is $250 an entry. It's $8 a week. That's what it breaks out to be over 31 weeks. There are segment payouts. There are paying out the top 10%. This is a big contest that we want to be able to fill. There will be incentives to fill it, to get your entries in early, which I'll announce as soon as available. But Greg, this is our one and done. And also, how about this? I'm going to a promo shoot next week in Los Angeles for Splash to promote this one and done.
Yes. This is the world's biggest one and done.
That's right.
And there's nobody better to spread the word. So that's fantastic. Very exciting, Rick. And I love one and done. I think it's the
best.
It's the greatest thing you can do. It's so much fun. You get one guy. When are you going to play him? Do you pick the times right? I think the segment idea is great.
Yeah, I like that.
Multiple payout tiers is so much better than survivor pools.
I actually pitched. So Mina, scroll down a little bit more where they go to the overall payouts. Sorry, instead of the segment payouts, go to the overall payouts. Okay, you see how there's like every 10 places are the same payout. For example, I actually pitched that every payout,
no ties,
like every pay, like if you finish 32nd, you get more than the guy who finished 35th. Right? It might be
33rd.
Yeah, might be $300, right? But might be, but I actually was like, I want an incentive where every spot, every dollar matters. Every spot matters. I got vetoed on that, but maybe next year.
Playing in a golf tournament where it's like, okay, like if you're on the PGA Tour and you're in 36th place heading into the weekend, every birdie is like counting money.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just moving up. More money than that guy, more money than that guy, more money than that guy.
Right.
That's a fun thing. I mean, I don't know how motivating it is for the guys out there playing on tour. I don't know if it's more motivating than just wanting to play good golf like everybody does every time they play. But I would be paying attention if I couldn't if somebody, got 4 signature events right and was running away with it. Like, I'm at my fantasy football league is points only. And
what do you mean by that?
It's season long points. I don't play somebody this week.
It's not head to head.
It's not head to head.
Got it. Okay.
Season long points.
Okay. There
are right now 2 people who can win. So I'm looking at this like there's no playoffs.
Right.
If you're in 6th place, you could be in 4th place. You got nothing to play for, and it's week whatever 10. This solves that. I think it does how it is.
Yeah.
The way you pitched it would do it more, but it still solves it.
I think that pitch was like, you're an idiot. Like, if we're gonna have to go in and
we're not doing that.
500 different payouts in the system. Like, I hate you. I was like, okay, well, no try.
$123, $124.
Okay, so 432nd is gonna get this amount, but 433rd is going to get this amount. Yeah, I think they I think they hated me for that. We'll try again next year.
Yay. I mean, there's got to be can't you use AI to do this?
You would think. We'll find out. All right, Bermuda this week. Bermuda, if I remember this correctly, I looked this up at some point last year, is the country with the most golf courses. It's either per capita or like per square footage of country, because I think they have 7 golf courses and the island's not that big.
Right. Very small island.
This is the very longest one they've got. It's like 6,800 yards. It's been lengthened. And the defense around here is the wind. You're going to see the videos. I already saw Will Haskett tweeted out a video earlier where the wind's blowing the outdoor furniture off the deck and all that stuff. Like that's the defense around here, Greg.
Yeah, it apparently is going to be honking.
Honking.
Yeah. Like 30 to 35 mile an hour winds. Even like 20 mile an hour winds out there are going to be honking because and you got so many different directions that they go. And the cool thing about it is you have so many par 4s that are like 380, and they're maybe drivable downwind and brutal crosswinds and brutal into the wind. They change. You have to play so many different shots, but you can kind of handle it with the clubs that you're hitting. You got a lot of wedges, a lot of short clubs. You don't have to hit driver, although with a lot of these into the wind holes, you will. It just makes for, if you're into creative golf shots, this is the kind of venue that you need to pay attention to. You're not going to see traditional golf. I spoke with Adam Hadwin this morning, who's playing this week.
What did he have to say?
Almost no full shots all week. Everything's a half shot
because everything's
bring
being
the spin
lighted?
down. Everything's being flighted.
Hmm.
Bring the spin down, bring the trajectory down. Because anything that gets up in the air, you just lose. You totally lose control. He said, I've seen guys miss by 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 yards.
Yeah, because the miss was already 30 yards and the wind took it another 30.
Next thing you know, it's 70 yards away. So you're going to see a wide variety of shots out here. I think it's so cool.
I like that. You might have looked this up at some point in your research process. Do you know who the defending champion is?
Yes.
Who is
Rafael Campos.
That's right. A 3-shot victory over Andrew Novak, 19 under. We have seen this go 15 under Lucas Herbert in 2021. We've seen this go 24 under par a couple of times. Again, it depends a lot on the wind. It plays as a par 71. The thing that I find interesting about this field, Greg, and again, I'm a broken record, but a lot of the same guys we've seen in the fall. A couple of guys are taken off. They seem like they're comfortable with their spots. But the favorite to win this event is Rico Hoey. He is 18-1. You do not get a lot of events in professional golf where the favorite is as long as 18-1. It would imply that there are a lot of different golfers who could win this tournament.
And the DP World Tour, the favorite is 4-1.
Yeah.
The second favorite is 5.5-1.
And last week, Ben Griffin was 10-1. JJ Spawn was 12-1. And then there was a little bit of a gap. But yeah, that's obviously very different here this week.
I mean, Michael Brennan, who tried to Monday qualify for this event because they had this Monday qualifier in
that's right,
some other time.
It's not the Monday before the event.
Right. He tried to Monday qualify and didn't get in and is now in.
Pretty good.
And he's the highest ranked player in the world. He's the highest ranked player in this field.
Wow.
In the world. Michael Brennan. He's 43rd or 42nd in the world. Now, you could look at that and say, well, this is a bad field. But it's like anybody could win. I was going through this, writing down names. I was like, what? I have no idea. So I think a lot of the things that we typically look at are thrown out the window. Like you got greens that are a little slower because of all that wind. I think that really, and it's Bermuda. So I think that really opens the door for guys that aren't putting well. Even guys that aren't hitting it well. Sometimes these kind of conditions can free you up. You don't make your normal golf swing. So that's why when you see like Rafael Campos, Camilo Villegas, Seamus Power is like an outlier. You get Lucas Herbert and Brian Gay. These guys weren't playing great golf coming in. And they find something for 1 week. So I think there's a lot of different paths to victory.
Sometimes when your game's not very sharp, getting to be creative and getting to have to hit shots and do something different and it kind of gets you out of just the full swing, perfect conditions. It's not working for you. It lets you think about something else, right? It just takes your brain off it.
Right. You have to.
Yeah.
There's no need to be perfect. It doesn't matter how it feels. It's like, I got to make sure this ball stays right. I got to make sure this ball is low. What do I got to, everything's different. Everything's different for everybody. It'll be different for Michael Brennan, who's playing well. Different for Rico Hoey, who's playing well. So while you have these same guys who have been playing the last couple of weeks in the fall, it's a totally different venue. And I find that fascinating.
I found something fascinating here. Let's do a little bit of knowledge, little education segment. Do you know what the currency in Bermuda is? I just learned this 1 second ago.
No.
Okay. It's the Bermudan dollar. It is tied to the American dollar. So whatever the value of the American dollar is, the Bermudan dollar is the same. There is no strength or weakness. So everything is equal. So they tie it to the USD. Panama also does that. The
I did not know that.
Dollar, is tied. It's just tied to the USD. So In fact, when you go to these places, they will just accept your dollars like normal because it's the same thing for them.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I almost said to you jokingly, the USD.
You would have been right.
Right?
I would have been very impressed.
I would have been completely making it up.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense because their economy is largely tied to tourism.
That's right. Largely tied to tourism. And let's not make any barriers of you spending money and having to exchange or anything like that. We will just accept your American dollars.
I wonder how that came. Hey, President Woodrow Wilson, can we just use your dollar? Sure.
There was
sign right here.
One other thing I wanted to point out about this. I don't remember. There's only 64,000 people that live there. Which means
very small.
That's like less than the amount of people who will be at the Phoenix Open on Sunday.
I mean, how many buildings in New York City is that? Like 5 buildings?
Oh my God. Yeah, that's it. Like that's like not even a block.
Not right. It's crazy. Crazy to think about.
Let's talk about some players here. And it's a very eclectic grid for this week because, as we mentioned, it's kind of wide open. So, Mina, click your little fingers away and fire up that grid. Thank you very much. One matchup, one finishing position, a winner each for Greg and I. Mark, I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but he's obviously on his way to Las Vegas right now. That's why he's not on the show. Matchups. Greg, a defending or a past champion for you. What'd you find?
A past champion. I got Seamus Power over Stephen Fisk. Stephen, they're both at -110, so no dog in this fight. But I'm going on the Seamus Power side. He's been driving the ball really well lately. I think his ball striking is kind of coming around. The finishing positions haven't, because his short game and putting haven't been very good. But like I said, I think this kind of environment can open the door to your putting being okay, or the playing field on the greens being balanced out. Not just because they're slow, but because the wind has such an effect. So I think that takes the great putters, really skillful putters, and brings them down a little bit. And I'm not sure it hurts guys who have been struggling on the greens. So I like Seamus Power over Stephen Fisk here.
Okay. Power over Fisk. I hope you're wrong about that because I am fading one of the worst putters on the PGA Tour, though, a guy who's made some improvements here. I have Pearson Coody at +120 over Rico Hoey. And this is, it's a couple of things, Greg. Pearson's been playing great golf in the fall. This dates back to Korn Ferry Tour. He's got a couple of good starts in a row on the PGA Tour as well. And Rico Hoey, who has been probably one of the best 3 golfers on the PGA Tour this fall. I just think that this is an environment of volatility. This is an environment of kind of weird things happening with the wind and water in play on 7 holes, and you getting gusted in a lot of different places. And I have these guys in my modeling and my statistics like fairly close to one another. So to get Pearson Coody at +120, I just thought that was a little bit too good to pass up. There is absolutely a little bit of hope that I've worked into this strategy. But I'm also kind of embracing that I don't know what's going to happen this week.
Well, that's also what I was saying with the putting. Like it doesn't mean that bad putters are going to putt well. I just think there's a greater chance that. But the thing about Rico Hoey with the long putter, that would worry me in conditions like this.
Yeah, it's going to blow it into a figure 8.
Right. That's been the solution. I don't like that at all. He's not going to like that either. So I'm fine with your play there.
Yeah, more mass for the wind, more surface area for the wind to grab a hold of.
Yeah.
Look at us. Just a couple of smart guys.
We know.
Finishing positions. We each found a top 20. I'll go first. Victor Perez. Victor Perez models really well and has modeled really well this fall. T11 at the Sanderson, T47 at the Black Desert, T21 at the WWT. I like the way he strikes it, but he's not one of these just purely team no putt guys. He's picked up 4 strokes to the field in his last 2 measured starts with the putter. I like the way Victor Perez sets up here, lives in the Bahamas. He's probably used to a lot of this, island golf with the wind. I'm rolling with Victor Perez to finish inside the top 20 at +150.
I almost went Victor Perez here as
Wow.
well. So I love the play. Hits a ton of greens.
Yeah.
You've mentioned modeling a couple times. I ran a model.
Oh boy.
Had a bunch of stats in it. I have a high number of low weighted stats.
High number
this
of
model.
low weighted stats. Okay.
Now, typically that's not how I would do it, but it is for this week. The highest used player. So I did a model creating lineups for 100 fantasy lineups for 150 lineups.
Okay.
And Matt Kuchar is the player that's in 95%
Dude,
of these lineups.
I love it. I love it.
I'm like, okay, let's roll with it. So a couple of these stats that I looked at before I ran the numbers, he's first in this field in par 4 scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Distance not really going to be an issue. He is third. Well, he's in the upper echelon of birdie makers and also rates out very well in birdie to bogey ratio, which is a highly correlated stat here. So there's a couple things that Cooch has going on in the number column that made me put him in here. And I'm like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen. I'll go with the computer.
I love that. Well, I have a lot to say about Matt Kuchar. I'm gonna save it because we're gonna talk more about Matt Kuchar in a little bit. But yeah, this is the spot for Kuchar. You got him at top 20 plus 140. So it's Victor Perez top 20, Matt Kuchar top 20. You and I have shared one winner. Now you're going for the perfect grid. So you have picked a winner from the DP World Tour and a winner from the PGA Tour. We overlap on that winner. Somehow you got a better line than I did. You got him at 40. I got him at 33. Who's our pick, Greg?
This is Sahith Theegala. Maybe the odds went down after I saw it. I was like,
You move the market.
well, he's healthy now.
Yes.
He was hurt. Now he's healthy. He's finished tied 27th in his last 2 starts. One was in Japan at the Bay Current, and one was at the Black Desert in Utah, where he was performed well across the board. I'm like, okay, T27 in a birdie fest like the Black Desert is not bad golf. So now we get Sahith Theegala healthy, playing in a field where he's the best player in the field.
Yes, that I was just gonna say when all of these guys are healthy, Sahith's the best player in this field, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's at 40-1 or 33-1, either, whatever it is, 30, it's fine.
Yeah.
And now he gets to be he's a shot maker.
Yeah.
I think this is a great spot for him.
He is a shot maker. Yeah, I'm with you. I really discovered this when I was, on Monday when I was going through the DraftKings salaries. That's good. I was just kind of, I was looking at the 10K range. I was looking at the 9. I'm like, okay, there's some names here. He's like he's like $8,000 this week, and I was like,
yeah.
Wait, why is his name here?
Like you've talked about wanting to be early on him.
Yeah,
and you've had like 3 cracks at it now.
Yeah.
We could still be early.
He hasn't done and he has not done anything to make me think we should not be early on him.
Right. It's just like another step in the right direction.
Yeah. I rounded out my card with Nico Echeverria, who has gone 9th and 14th in each of the last 2 weeks. He's been fantastic. In fact, his last 8 rounds, those 2 events, he has picked up strokes to the field in all of them. He's pretty good on these like coastal golf courses. He's got a win in Puerto Rico. He's got a couple other top 10s in some of these places where wind starts to become a problem. So I went with Nico here. He is $9,700 on DraftKings. He's 28-1 to win this golf tournament, already a PGA Tour winner. Now, Greg, you have rounded out your card with a man who most have heard of on the DP World Tour side of things. Who'd you pick?
If you haven't heard of him, you must be new here. And
you couldn't
so welcome.
Have heard of this show if you haven't heard of him.
This guy's name is Rory McIlroy. He's looking for his 7th race to Dubai title.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
His 7th race to Dubai's. His 7th races to Dubai.
It's a straight. It needs to be cleared up, in my opinion.
7th race. Although Dubai, I guess you couldn't have a plural of Dubai because
there's only one.
There's only one.
He's won the race to Dubai 6 times.
There you go.
Looking to do it for a 7th. It's like the Tour de France. Looking to win that race again, and it's a golf course he's won at 3 times. He's played well every time, essentially, and he's coming off a 62 in Abu Dhabi, and this golf course suits him better, as he says. I think he's clicking on all cylinders, and it's a limited field, and I think you're going to see Rory McIlroy holding another trophy this week.
I would love the bucket list item. That shot of it's behind one of the tee boxes where it's got this beautiful cityscape, right? You're just in the middle of it's just these it looks like the Jetsons, and Rory McIlroy just hits a drive that looks like it's going to carry over these buildings. I would love to see that in person. That would be so cool.
Have you seen the videos of that, like, through time? How the skyline has changed?
Yes. In like the last 30 years, right? It's just like it's gone from nothing to
like
space.
The biggest city you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's remarkable. That tee shot is so emblematic of that. So I hope to see it this week. Getting up early.
Now I'm Googling Dubai. 1991 to 2020. That looks fake. It looks fake.
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh my gosh. Rory McIlroy 4-1. Sahith for both of us. Nico Echeverria rounds out our outrights for the week. We now also use this opportunity to talk about more golfers, and we'll put a little perspective in terms of fantasy items. And one of the things I always ask you to do, Greg, is to pick a golfer of the week. And you factor in everything, your price, your recent form, your course history, whatever it might end up being. And I do not think this golfer has ever gotten the GGOW, Greg's Golfer of the Week. I don't think he has ever gotten that designation yet.
No, and he may never again. Likely will never again. Even if there's nothing he could do this week, even win, to
where you would feel comfortable ever again.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen again. It's 47-year-old Matt Kuchar.
Yeah.
8,600. I actually wish that price was a little lower.
Oh, now you're just being greedy.
I feel a little greedy. But tied 11th last week, tied 18th at the Sanderson Farms, tied 13th at the Procore, and this feels like a better fit. Like, he's been bleeding strokes off the tee. He's having a hard time hitting it out of his shadow, but he's very accurate. Yes. I don't think that's a problem here at all.
The only reason he loses strokes off the tee is because he's 170th in driving distance. He's 53rd in accuracy. And this is a golf course that's the shortest on the PGA Tour. 6,800 yards is a par 71. That he gets to lean. He is not going to lose to the field because of distance. And he gets to lean into all the stuff that he's piled up 3 top 18s in a row. Yes, let's go.
So I think that's why I have him for a top 20 golfer of the week. I don't really feel extremely confident in anyone. So he's as close to, I think anything could happen. So he's the golfer of the week.
All right. Matt Kuchar, golfer of the week. Now the 9K and plus range, there are a lot of names. Kevin Yu is up there. Rico Hoey is up there. You've given me a couple, but you've also put a couple question marks out there, Greg. Again, this might go back to your kind of lack of confidence in this field. What are we doing with some of the more expensive players?
Well, Thorbjorn Olesen, I really like. He's in the 10K range, behind Hoey and Yu in pricing. And this is a really solid golf game right now. Just through the bag, really solid. T14 at the Country Club of Jackson, T9 when he went over and played the Spanish Open, T3 in Utah, T14 last week, been solid across the board. So I also think this is just a good fit for him. Rico Hoey, Kevin Yu.
On a comfort level, he's got to skew towards the higher numbers relative to this field. Okay.
Totally. Right. Rico Hoey and Kevin Yu, they get a lot of their work done with great driving and distance, especially. And I'm not sure how valuable that's going to be this week. So that gives me some concern with them. They're not question mark guys, though. Pearson Coody and Matty Schmid are the question mark guys. That's because I love what they've been doing with their game. Like Pearson Coody's been, as you mentioned, Rick, Korn Ferry Tour, PGA Tour, he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
And he actually just completed his 15th PGA Tour event. He also played 15 Korn Ferry Tour events, but he is ranked in the stats, and he's number 1 on the PGA Tour in strokes gained off the tee.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Just came out.
Yeah.
So
hot off the presses.
Hot off the presses. So he qualified for the stats. But, I don't know what the value of that is going to be. Like, is that a bad thing? Probably not. But it just makes me put a question mark next to it. Is this going to get thrown off by the 35-mile-an-hour winds? And I feel similar about Matty Schmid.
Yeah, you were so right on Matty Schmid last week. Now we've got question marks next to his name.
Yeah, well, it's because the same reasons are there. I loved him last week. He performed. But now we got a course fit question here. It's ultimately what it is. He leaned on the putter a lot. Is that going to get thrown off this week?
It is a pretty stark contrast from one week to the next of course fit potential.
Including Utah, the last 2.
Yeah.
So yeah. I worry. But they're, I think, options. You could take a chance on them. There's one other guy that I like in this range.
Yeah.
9,100.
Talk to me about Matt Wallace.
Matt Wallace. He just makes a lot of sense from a course fit perspective. You had a stat about him just preying on weaker fields.
Oh yeah, that's right. He just destroys weak fields.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how that stands up now, but he preys on the weak. He's
I'll tell you what, though, he's got a runner up at the European Masters. He finished 10th at the Bay Current. Those are better fields. He might be getting a little stronger. He might be picking on somebody his own size now.
Well, that's the other thing is I think he's playing really good golf for a long time, and I think he knows how to handle these conditions. He won at Corrales. He won an island event.
He won at, I believe that's right. I'm going to confirm it here for you, but I think Corrales is right. Yes, he did. 2023 Corrales Punta Cana.
So he can handle the island conditions as well. So I like Matt Wallace. And at 9,100, you get a little break from Schmid or Coody, who are a little more expensive.
Yeah, that's true. There's a little bit of a couple extra $100 you can save. So 8K range. You've given me a handful of names. We've talked about Matt Kuchar. We've talked about Sahith Theegala. They're both on your list. We talked a little bit about Victor Perez, but I'm going to make you go to Eric Cole here because that's a name that we have not spoken about, Greg, and I want to hear what's going on with the Cole train, who maybe this is a good week for him because he's wearing the MLB logo.
Yes. Is he playing at Shadow Creek before the event?
I'll tell you what, it's Eric Cole. He freaking might be, dude.
He might be. Yeah, we might see him out there.
He's like on the red eye Wednesday night to Bermuda. Like
he just flies around for tee times.
Yeah, it's free tee times.
He's got one at Bermuda. So one thing that turned my attention to him, Rick, you have in your course key stats, highest correlated stats, birdie average is very highly correlated. Mm-hmm. Eric Cole fits that bill. There are some other, I think a lot of short irons and wedges can be a really good area for him. But the other thing I like about Eric Cole is I'm seeing, when you look at the way I traditionally break this stuff down, he finished tied 9th at Sanderson Farms and 10th at the Worldwide Technology Championship. And we've seen a little uptick in his putting performance the last 2 measured events, an uptick in his approach play, 2 of the last 3 measured events. And that top 10, we got no strokes gained. So my assumption is his approach and putting are kind of rounded into form, not going to have to worry about the distance issue this week.
He is a stout short iron and wedge player. 150 yards to 125. So that way, 44th. Then it only gets basically better from there. From 50 to 125, he's 17th. 100 to 125, he's 29th. I mean, he's a very, very strong short iron player and wedges. And then, like you said, if that putter or that birdie making ability is back, like, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested in him this week.
7K range, guys that might not make you feel as comfortable. You've got 3 on your list. Where do you want to go first?
The 7K range does not make you feel comfortable at all, but I think there's a lot of, there are so many guys I'd be willing to play. One, this comes out of the model. Okay. Kevin Roy, 81. He made 81% of my lineups.
Wow.
I'm like, why? How? So there's not a lot of, I guess he's been playing okay.
Yeah.
Not great. I guess trust the computers, right?
Yeah, he's got some, I mean, depending on how far back you went, he's got some good stuff in the summer, the fall, end of the summer, started to cool off a little bit. Played well at the Sanderson, complete gain across the board there.
I like his game, and I don't think it's in shambles. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll trust the computer here and throw his name out there, because I really do believe in volatility this week. Like Rafael Campos, if we were here last year and I said Rafael Campos, you would have laughed at me.
I'm sure we did not mention his name last year.
No, because there's nothing. Camilo, the year before, he might have played a little better in the fall leading into that, if I remember correctly. But anyway, here nor there. So he's one. Seamus Power, another. Like I said, I like the way that his ball striking is trending. He's been driving the ball really well for a long time. Hit it a little better with his irons in the fall here. So Seamus Power would be an option for me at 7,600. I think that's a pretty good deal on a past champion.
Yeah, it's not bad. And like you said, he's been playing a little bit better as well.
Lee Hodges is a guy that came up in like just like the 100 to 125 category. He came up in the birdie average category, birdie to bogey ratio category. So his name just popped up a lot, and his iron play for a long time has been just awesome.
He is, I was running something yesterday, the day before, round 1 relative. So basically your round 1 stats, but like, compared to the other 3 rounds. So round 1 relative would be compared to round 2, 3, 4. Round 2 relative would be compared 1, 3, 4. He is like one of the best. No, I shouldn't say that. He's pretty good in round 1. Not the best on the tour, but he's pretty good in round 1. But relative to his other 3 rounds, that is by far his best round. Like, a little bit of both things in that. It's not like he's Keith Mitchell. He's not like the best on the tour in the first round, or Keegan Bradley or anything like that. But he really does fall off in rounds 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, I guess that could be a concern. But he's also won wire to wire before.
Yeah, and it's also the 7K range of the Bermuda Championship. Like, if you don't have concerns, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're going to have concerns over everybody.
Yeah.
So that's really the reason why I'm putting a little more attention into weird stat combinations this week. Like birdie to bogey ratio has my interest this week.
Right.
Par 3 scoring average. has my interest. Like any edge, anything I can find, I'm clinging to.
It's good
And
enough.
there's a couple for Lee Hodges.
6K range. You've got a little thing for the 40-plus-year-olds this week.
Well, I mean, look at what Brandt Snedeker has been up to.
Yeah.
Rick, when I get into this range, I'm in your holy grail. I just kind of click through. I'll run something and see, but I'm really just clicking to see, like, is there anything here?
Right.
I'm looking for green. Brandt Snedeker's got some green. He finished tied 9th in Utah.
Yeah.
He's been hitting the ball like surprisingly well, and I'm not worried about distance. I love his putting stroke in conditions like this. Legend has it he putts great on bad greens. Not that these are bad, but they're a little longer, a little shaggier than we're used to seeing. So I'm like, hey, why not? Why not Sneds?
Why not Sneds? Now, this guy is he's been around so long, it feels like he should be in his 40s. He is not. But Matteo Manassero, back on your list.
Matteo Manassero, I mean, the driver is concerning. Hopefully, most of that comes from distance, but he just popped up in inside of 100 to 125. He popped up in a couple of other categories as well. I want to say par four scoring average.
I mean, just think of
par 3 scoring average. Excuse me.
Just think of like the guys who have won this event or the guys who have had success at this event. They are not Rory McIlroy, right? I mean, this is so different. This is, if you are gonna get freaky, if you want to get freaky, here's your week to get freaky, right?
Yeah.
It's a very strange golf course relative to other PGA courses. There's a lot of outside influence. It is a very weak field. Go get freaky. I'm allowing it. Let's go. Go do something weird.
So like Matteo Manassero, Zach Blair also made my list. I would never choose him. He's been hitting the ball great.
Literally the model of guys who win this golf event.
Yes, absolutely right. He has been hitting his irons pretty darn good. And this week, those are with reasonable clubs. So I'm a big fan of that, and I'd take a crack at Zach Blair this week.
Zach Blair, Brandt Snedeker, Matteo Manassero offering some options down at the bottom of the board. But like we said, I think you can get away with just about anything. Vegas is not super confident in one player. You might have a wind and weather advantage. Like there's just, it's going to be weird. It's going to be freaky. Don't be afraid to embrace it. What else, Gregors?
I think that covers it for me, Rick. I feel good.
Okay. I feel good as well. Friday night, we will know who is leading going into the weekend. We'll have an idea of what's shaping up on the DP World Tour as well. They've got a ton of points on the line. We'll see if any other news drops. Who knows? Maybe a new event will be announced. Maybe, well, I don't know. Learn how Tong got into that field. I
want to know. I want to know.
We'll hear it maybe. I don't think Mark will. I think Mark will be on Friday. I can't remember, but I'm interested to hear. Maybe he won't be able to tell us. He'll be like, "Oh, I'm under an NDA. I'm not allowed to say."
Yeah, I don't know when he's flying back. If it's 2 days, my guess would be it's a Wednesday, Thursday event, right? Because today's Tuesday.
It's technically 3 days though. It's a practice round and then 2 days. So I think the event is Thursday, Friday. So he's probably flying out on Saturday.
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe he'll be sitting right next to you.
We are tentatively planning on getting dinner, I think, Thursday.
All right. Great.
Yes.
Well, tell him I said hi.
Will do.
Give him a hug for me.
Will do.
And I'll see at least you Friday, if not both of you.
Hell yeah, brother. All right. Big thanks to producer Mina. She does all the hard work behind the scenes. Greg DuCharme at The Real GFD. You can find me at Rick Run Good. This has been The Second Cut. We'll see you Friday.